Hi, everyone, and welcome to another episode of Gabbing with Gabby. And today I have someone very special who's a friend of a friend. And I feel like we have to know each other anyway because he's just so fantastic and so fabulous and creative. His name is Kevin Davison. Hi, Kevin. Welcome to the show.
Hello, hello, hello.
Kevin is a very good friend of Tanya, which you can watch one of her video that I did with her a few weeks ago. I'll add that link in the description below. She's got an amazing story, and her and Kevin collaborate together, and he's the producer of the annual Living Cabaret, and he's also a professional student.
Professional, I don't know about that.
I think so, right? So anyway, so Kevin, like I said, he's a part of the cabaret. He's super talented. He can sing, he can dance, he can produce, he can do it all. He's so great. I'm so happy to have you on here. I can't wait for us to get into the meat of things and talk about all the amazing things that you do. But I'd like to start with how you got to meet Tanya and
Mhm.
how then you got to the cabaret. So take it away, Kevin.
All right. Well, me and Tanya, we met. I was homeschooling. So I was at a performing arts school and I wasn't doing so well academically, so I had to switch out and I was doing this
Hmm.
homeschool thing and I needed PE credit. So I went to
Hmm.
gym with my grandma and yeah, and the two of us we were working out and then we met Tanya because she was a part of their workout group and I just bonded
Yeah,
with her. It was like, oh my gosh, I love you. She had sparkly
I
energy.
know. Doesn't she?
Vibed, you know?
She does. Yes.
Yes.
Yes,
So we were
totally.
like, what a queen. This is amazing. She then told me her story and I was just taken away because I was like, you've been through so much more than like
Hmm.
anyone that I've known has gone through
Hmm.
with losing so many family members and beating cancer and fighting cancer and all that. So it
Hmm.
was just really cool to meet someone who had such a positive energy and an outlook on life after
Hmm.
life has thrown so many obstacles her way. So I was just like, you're amazing. And then I realized she was selling shirts and I got shirts and I got like, I literally, wait a minute.
You
I
have it next to.
right here. So that's just so funny. She has a duffel bag, and I like bags. I love bags, and this is
Me too.
and
Oh.
and she creates a lifetime. So I like bought that from her, and I was buying things, and I was like, you know what, I want to help you just raise money because she told me why she made those and what the money goes towards. And
Yes.
I want to help you raise money for American Cancer Society, really for life and all that. And this was when she was a part of someone else's team. I think it was Team Chazzy, and we decided we were gonna put together a cabaret. And
Hmm.
then she was like, "I'm gonna ask your parents because I don't. What are you doing?" And they're like, "Sure, I guess you can do it." And I was working with Pickwick Players at the time, and they're no longer an organization, but they were then. And they helped me secure a venue, and we did it off Broadway Live, and we had the first event, and we raised $1,000 on the
That's
first
so
event,
great.
which was
That's so great.
incredible. And that was with singers and from all over. And Tanya shared her story at that event. And
Mhm.
then we were like, after, at the end of it, it was like, okay, so we're doing this again.
Right. Duh.
Obviously, this was so much fun. We're gonna do this again.
Yeah.
And I started planning it like right then and there. I was like, okay, this is what I kind of want to do. And I believe the second year was at Young Actress Theater. So I was like, oh, that would be good. It was a bigger venue, it would be bigger people. And so we just did that. And then we raised like I think $1,000 yet again that one, or a little bit more. I think it was a little bit more. It was like 1,000
Yeah.
a hundred or something, which was amazing. All towards American Cancer Society. And then
Hmm.
the third year, fourth year, and then the fifth year, which was virtual.
Yeah, so I've been to a live one, and I've also experienced this virtual one that you guys did last year for 2020, because obviously there's no need to go through that, right? We know why. But it was a Christmas special, and I thought it was amazing. You did such a good job. I mean, talk about adapting. I mean, we all had to adapt, but you did such a fantastic job. Do you want to tell everyone a little bit about that, please? That was so great.
Yes. So I was planning on doing a huge fifth year. This was the fifth year, so
Yeah.
that's like a milestone in itself. And we were planning on doing like a huge show. I actually was like getting photographers. Like I had some things kind of set up that was kind of like negotiated beforehand, like those type of stuff. And it was going to be at Yad Again, and we had a date, and I think we were about 2 months out from it. So it was like right when I would be gathering singers, and
Uh-huh.
the world just exploded. So I just the idea got abandoned,
Yeah.
and it was really like, oh no, oh no.
What are we gonna do? Yeah.
Like it was like I really didn't. I didn't even think about doing an online thing. I was like, this is gonna like not happen this year. Like I was like, could we do? No, it's cancer. You can't do that. Like, so I was like,
Yeah.
what? And then I just started seeing so many artists creating different like Shoshana Bean did her a show that was
Mhm.
a bunch of Broadway people, and then so on and so on, and so many more people. Shoshana Bean stuck
Mhm.
out because that's who that was the first one I
Yeah.
saw. I was like, oh, I could do that, and
Yes.
that then the whole idea just kind of came together, and I was like, well, what could I do it for? I was like, I missed the reason why we do it in the spring slash summer, early summer, is
Mhm.
because that's right when it's the end of the year, so it's like that
Mhm.
big last money to raise for the team to then give towards American Cancer Society. So
Mhm.
and then the year starts over again. So that's why we do it, to be like a last minute drive to get those last numbers up. But
Mhm.
then we were like, well, I guess we could do like a Christmas one, and instead of trying to like go for the numbers, let's try to just go for keeping the spirit of it being the fifth year alive.
Mhm.
This is a milestone. Even though we were throwing so many rocks, we still wanted to celebrate, and
Mhm.
there's still so many stories that we wanted to tell. And we had Sarah Farnham and Gustavo Padilla tell their stories, and that was just amazing.
They
So
were.
if you guys want to go watch that show, they have them, and there's timestamps if you just want to watch their speeches.
Yes,
Uh,
we'll definitely put that in the description below, a link to, because you can still watch the whole cabaret.
yes,
Yeah.
anytime. And that's the other thing. After we decided to do it live, we realized so many people could be a part of this community now, and so many more people could watch it, and
Yeah.
that meant like when we do the sixth year, which will probably still be online, but the seventh year, that when we're back in person, we're still going to need to have an online aspect. We're going to still
Yes.
need to continue that. So I've already thought of some ideas, but to like see how we explore that as like a team, me, Tanya, and Jerica, who's also, she does a lot of the music. And so as
Mhm.
all of us kind of explore the next few years, it'll be really fun to see how it evolves in the future.
Yeah, because it'll be neat when you're live and in person and life goes back to normal or new normal, right? But you can still live stream it. So all those people who don't live here or live too far away or couldn't make it, you can watch the live stream, or you can, watch it later, pre-recorded, and still get those donations. I mean, that's what all those Jerry Lewis like phone-a-thons or whatever they were called,
Yeah, there's so
right?
many.
They were all, you were sitting at home in your living room and you were calling, "I like to make a donation to the March of Dimes,"
So they're comfortable in your home.
Yeah, that is kind of a silver lining sometimes. You don't realize, oh, I can open, there a whole new world can open up now. It's not just live here in person. We could be live and in person and do this other thing that maybe, if this didn't happen, didn't consider that at that moment, maybe later on a few years down the road or something. But yeah, it's pretty cool, right? And you have so many friends who are in the performing arts. and who are so willing to do and take part of this, and they sing and they dance and they perform, and like, yeah, just amazing stuff,
I
right?
have to say just a quick shout out to anyone who participates in like volunteer work for things like this, and specifically the singers and dancers and actors who participated in the Living Cab. Just thank you, because you guys are
Hmm.
using your voices, your talents for so much
Hmm.
good, and to spread so much joy, especially for people who need it a lot. So it's just really good, because even if there's two spirits that are lifted from an event of ours, I mean, that's just success.
Right.
So, and you're a part of that when you do that. So shout out
Yeah,
to
you
y'all
are.
people. They're
And
just so amazing.
yes. So if you guys notice, we are all in our Wicked garb. So funny
Yeah.
story, Kevin showed up at our Zoom meeting and he's like, Wicked cup, Wicked jacket. And I said, oh my gosh, I literally was going to wear this shirt today, but I just said, no, I'll wear my Mickey Hamilton. I had my Mickey Hamilton on. It's like Mickey doing the Hamilton pose. And then you popped up and I was like, I'm going to change my shirt so we could
Exactly.
be
I was
all
gonna
wicked
say that.
out.
Wicked.
Yeah.
I'm a theater person, and
Hmm.
I wanted to rep the gear, and I was wearing this, and I went down to get a mug because I needed a coffee, of course,
Yeah.
and it was a Wicked mug, so it was
And
perfect.
you were telling me a wicked story as I was, running around getting it. But you want to share your wicked story?
Oh yes, I sorry, I was forgetting what it was for a second. So
You were like, I forgot.
no, almost forgot it. Oh gosh. So I've seen Wicked. I want to say a handful of times, like seven.
Ooh, I've seen it
Yes,
once.
it's so good. Oh my god! If anyone sees it, it's just I could rewatch it over and over and over and over
And
again.
don't bother reading the book because the book does it no justice. The book is like, I don't even know how they created a play from this this book, because the book's so boring, but the play is
Yes.
phenomenal.
Well, I
Mhm.
was in Philadelphia and Wicked was there at the same time, and I was like, I'm going. Like I'm going.
Yeah.
Anytime there's Wicked, I'm there. Like I'm there. So we went to see Wicked, and we were the theater. It was gorgeous. It was an opera house in Philadelphia. It was
Ooh.
gorgeous, and because we got cheap tickets on the top, like the top floor of like and they were like
Yeah.
stacked. It was like stacked because of the opera, and then it had the audience. So
Yeah.
we were like high up, and
Yeah.
me afraid of heights. Boom. But
Oh,
it was still amazing. I loved it. So we're watching, and Jessica Vosk. I didn't know much about her. I wasn't following her, and I was a very naive Broadway follower when I was
mhm,
like 16, 17. I was 17. Yikes. But now I feel like more versed in theater than I was then. So I didn't really know who she was.
mhm,
And I was watching it, and I was like, this is so good. Wizard and I was amazing. Defying Gravity was amazing. So she was amazing. And I was in awe. I truly was. She was just so spectacular. Her voice is amazing. This could turn
mhm.
into a Jessica Voss
That's okay.
fan, what do you call it? Fan,
You're
like, love.
fanboying.
Yeah, fanboy. And,
Yeah.
but so I met her afterwards, and we were chatting with her. And then I saw her again um, in New York just like a couple years ago. And so I just fangirled over her. And that was the Wicked story I was telling, because I love her and I
Oh.
listen to her constantly. That's it. That's the tweet.
That's it. Is that someone on your list you wanna meet?
Oh, I met her
Oh,
twice.
you have?
After I saw her in Wicked in Philadelphia, and after I saw her in Wicked in New York, because the Broadway stage show, and it's so cool she does that. She's so sweet for doing
Oh, I love that they do that. I always see videos, on Instagram back in the day when Hamilton was, playing,
that. Yes.
and, and have all these, different things that they did when they go out there. My husband and I went and saw Hamilton in San Francisco. Yeah, it was
Oh,
so
was it
great.
amazing?
It was just so great. I mean, it's obviously a whole different cast, and we weren't sure how we were going to feel about that, because we had been listening to you know when you listen to the recording and it's the original cast, whether it's Rent or, Hamilton or Wicked, right, with the original cast, and you're listening to it, and then you go watch it, and you're like, "Oh, I don't know how, I hope it's gonna be as good." It's always as good. It is. I mean,
Yeah,
they're not
it's
playing. They
always like
pick
something
amazing
different.
people.
You're like, I'm expecting. It's funny that happened to me. We went to New York, in 2016 to see Hamilton,
Mhm.
original cast, and then the blizzard hit,
Ooh.
the big blizzard
Oh,
hit in New York. Do you remember that?
yeah,
And
uh-huh.
it hit, and all Broadway shut down. It was the longest shutdown of Broadway before
Before the
now,
pandemic.
before the pandemic. It's funny me complaining about it now, but we lost our tickets to Hamilton, and it was a huge fiasco, and we didn't get to see
Oh,
the cast, but we did go. We did get to go the next year, and we did get to see Hamilton, and it was somewhat the same cast, but I was so excited to see Philippa Sue, and it was Lexi
oh,
Lawson,
so
and I was like ready to hear her voice, and it wasn't hers. But it's funny, I learned a lesson because I watched it and I got so engrossed in the story of watching Lexi Lawson do it and her characterization that I cried for the first time while seeing it. Also, it was the first time I saw the show, but I cried
oh,
with the music and stopped crying after a point when I like heard it because I was like, oh,
yeah,
I've heard it before. But this, it got me
yeah,
like invested in the story in a whole new way, and I was
yeah,
just like,
yeah,
wow, I lesson learned, and then
yeah,
I've seen like understudies go on
yeah.
shows, and I'm like, oh my gosh, that's so cool. Half the time, first one, like it just sometimes
Well,
I'm like,
there's no shortage of talent. I mean, there really isn't. I mean, any show that you go to and you watch, they're just talented. These actors and actresses, they're so very talented. And for you to be on Broadway or on a stage, first of all, kudos to you because it is
nah,
not easy. It's
it's not.
not easy. And although you make it look easy, of course, you're like, sure, I can go up there and sing and dance. Oh, no, you can't, you know?
That's the
Oh,
dream
and
though
then,
for so many people to go up and sing and dance on a Broadway stage.
yeah, that's your dream.
Yeah, I mean, it's one of those dreams that I'm like, I wanted so much when I was a kid, and I worked so hard, and now I've been like, okay, I just want art in my life, and Broadway is the ultimate dream. But I'm willing to wait until I'm like 35 or 40 to be like,
Okay.
that happens. So many people, because you can get so discouraged being like,
Yeah.
oh my gosh, well, so and so just is booking and blah blah blah, but you
Mhm.
also forget that so many people don't book until they're like 30, 35, and that's just how that
Yeah,
works. So it's like I can wait. I have
you can
patience,
wait.
work
Mhm.
hard. It's funny.
Yeah.
I didn't even expect to get to the fifth year with Living Cab. Like, I mean, when we got to when we were doing the fifth year and it happened, and we started talking about the sixth year, I was like, hold up. I was not expecting this. When we had it, I was like expected. I was like, it's gonna be amazing and big. And then the first year wasn't that. It was totally different. It was raw, emotional, powerful.
Mhm.
And and then it was like, oh wow. It took me on the journey. I didn't get to choose it.
Mhm.
That's what's so cool. It's that I know
Yeah.
the journey's gonna come and it's gonna be the right one for me, you know?
Right, right. And with acting, any kind of acting, whether it's TV, movies, or live Broadway, there you have to endure a lot of no's
Yeah.
before you have to have some tough skin because you have to endure a lot of no's before you get a yes. And you do have to work hard and you have to hustle and you can't give up. You just got to keep trying. You're going to school for arts administration, right? And so does that mean that you would work, behind the scenes and have a degree so that you can get to Broadway, but you would be behind the scenes, the business end of Broadway. That's what I'm assuming that means. Am I right? Am I on the right path?
You are on the right path there. That's why I went for that degree, to be honest. I Everyone knows this, and it's like the classic movie artists, like the parents go, you aren't going to work, you need a sustainable
Yeah,
job, and it's
right.
true. I mean, being an actor and being an artist, it's never about the money. So
Right.
the money's going to be it's going to be less,
True.
and it takes a lot to be that like famous rich actor, and half the time it's not what it looks like. So I wanted something that I could feel sustainable. I mean, during COVID, I realized that the only people with jobs right now in the theater community are the arts administration people, the people who
Yeah.
are producing, executive producing, like there's are directing, those people, because they're creating the jobs. And still there's still not enough, but um it's definitely like a job, it's a career field that I could go into that could feel sustainable, and I could grow, and
Mm-hmm.
it's a path to Broadway. There's
Exactly.
words to there. Lin-Manuel Miranda wrote his Broadway show and starred in it. So
Right. You
you
never
know,
know. You could pick up a book off of a shelf one day and feel inspired and write your own Hamilton or Bridgerton.
or Bridgerton. Oh my gosh. I love Shondaland. Grey's Anatomy.
That's how she did it too. She picked up that book and then she decided I'm going to make a series out of it, and it's pretty fantastic. If you haven't seen Bridgerton on Netflix, go ahead and watch it. And
It's amazing.
maybe not watch it with your spouse because the Duke is amazing.
Yeah, that's true. It's all about inspiration, and I think
Yeah.
that's something that I already like. I love to be inspired and create things. So to kind of get a degree that will allow me to create and find a field and find a path that's successful, because there's so many people I could list that inspire me to just to
Mm-hmm.
create my own path, you know.
Mm-hmm.
Tanya
Yeah.
is literally number one on that list. She's
Right.
created her path, she's created her life, and she's never let any of those like fixed things be an obstacle. She says, you know what, get
Right.
out, you don't determine how I live. And that's what you do with
Mm-hmm.
anything. The no's in theater, those don't determine you. So
Mm-hmm.
yeah,
They just
there's
make you a stronger person.
actually make you really
Yeah. You mentioned about your parents, like, oh, you got to do something. So, I have a son who's a drummer. He's a jazz drummer. He's 16. And, drumming is all he's known. It's all he's known. And he's very good at it. But you kind of worry as a parent, like, jazz, first of all, jazz is not as popular as, pop music or something. So it's like already hard. You get into jazz, you get into blues, it's already hard to make a living like that. I mean, we know a lot of people in the jazz community and they do make a living, but as a parent, I'm only talking, don't get offended, my jazz people out there, talking as a parent, and what you were, and just kind of piggybacking on what you were saying before, just you worry, you want to make sure that your kid can have something to fall back on. And I think that you found a really great way to maneuver your way in there, but you still can stay in the arts and still be creative, but have a more sustainable job. I think that's really, really wise of you at the young old age of, how old are you?
21. My birthday just happened. So there's
Happy
about
birthday.
I'm kidding. No, it's too early
It's
for
a
that.
hot toddy.
Oh gosh. No, not that. It's not, there's no
I know.
vodka in there. No.
I know.
Uh,
I know.
I can't be day drinking. Not at 21.
We're going to have bigger problems if you
No,
started doing that.
seriously. So
So one of the things I asked, you had really good advice about, what would you say to somebody who is struggling? This is a time of struggle. And, I've been doing these videos to help inspire people, maybe things you feel like you're in a dark place and you can maybe, I hope, like you said, you get two people who feel their spirits get uplifted, then I've done my job, right? And I'm hoping that someone would turn this on and watch a video and feel like, oh, well, that totally inspired me and I want to go. So if someone came to you and they were feeling down, It's pretty tough times now. What would you say to them?
I would say I relate. And
Yeah, you're
it's
not alone.
you're not alone. We're all going through this really weird time that literally happened 100 years ago. So
Yeah, yeah.
it's just like none of us have gone through this, and if we haven't been talking about like the mental effects that COVID has been taking on us. And
Mhm.
I mean, I'm not a psychologist or someone who knows that much about it, but I am someone who's experiencing it. So I can
Mhm.
say that just as surrounding yourself with friends or family or whoever you can, that can be like in your corner, and you can just like call, rant, talk to, laugh with,
Mhm.
watch TV with, play games with, just like be your person during this. You need it.
Mhm.
We all need a person. We
We
all
all
need
need a person.
we need companionship. So and if you feel like that's not there, it's in you. Like trust me. Like there's so much you can
Mhm.
do with yourself. Like date yourself, literally. Valentine's Day too. I know that just happened. And if you're feeling
Mhm.
single and alone, just date yourself. I think it's just
Mhm.
finding that joy of that alone time, because
Mhm.
this will end. This isn't
Mhm.
forever, and the world will move on. That's like the one thing that is certain
Mhm.
is that the world goes on,
Yes.
especially in America where everyone is planning on just forgetting about COVID once it's over.
Yeah.
So
It's true. You're very right. That's very true. The world is going to still move on. And of course, when you're in it, it seems like forever. And
mhm.
we're going on almost a year here, especially in
I look at the
California. It's a lot
Snapchat memories.
more strict.
I
What's
look
that?
at the Snapchat memories, and I swear it's like getting to the point where it's like catching up to being like a year
Yeah.
ago
Yeah.
was masks and all that stuff. And I'm just like, I cannot believe that this has been a year. But it's funny because when I look at Snapchat memories of 2 years ago, I was like, oh my God, I was really upset in that photo. And I'm laughing about it now. So I'm like, we are going to be okay. We,
This too shall pass.
this too shall.
Last year, last year at this time, I was actually in New Orleans in Mardi Gras for my nephew who just turned 21. When's your birthday?
February 5th?
Oh, he's a 12. And
Oh, nice.
yeah, we went there, me and my sisters and my mom and my nephew and a bunch of his friends, and we all went to New Orleans. And it was literally our last hurrah because it was right before, a month before the S hit the fan.
No,
So
literally.
yeah, yeah. I mean, and now it's frozen over there in New Orleans. So who knows?
Really? Oh, shoot.
Yeah, it's super
No,
cold there. It's super cold. Yeah, it's like really really cold
it's really
right
cold.
now.
I go to school in Decatur. I go to school in Decatur, Illinois, middle of nowhere. Um,
Yeah,
it's like really cold over there that all the classes were put online. Right? They
yeah,
did put on snow days, so apparently like the
yeah.
it's really cold, and I'm over here in San Diego.
I know. We were watching the weather and watching this terrible storm go through. Meanwhile, in San Diego, we're having picnics outside.
We did though have it like I don't know. I had rain, and I'm in
We
Santee.
had a little rain,
Yeah,
just a little,
last night, just a little.
but we
We
really have
had a
nothing to
storm
complain
though.
about.
We had a storm, a huge storm that knocked over our like canopy thingy, and it knocked it over
Yeah.
and ruined it. And
Oh,
that was just tragic. We should have taken the day. We don't live in the Midwest or like tropical areas. Like
I
what?
know. I know. Anytime there's severe weather here, and that's like a Santa Ana would be a severe weather here, right? And
Mhm.
I hear and feel the wind, and and I've been here now since like '97, but every time I still think, surely this house is going to blow away like Dorothy. It is. It just can't withstand this
That's
weather.
the
I'm
moment I
always
got to.
nervous.
That's so funny. Okay, just side note. Have you seen? this is so not really related, but I don't know why it came to the front of my
Okay.
mind. I was like, ask this. Have you seen
Yes.
Once Upon a Time? Because we can chat about
Yes. Yes. I've watched all of it. All of it.
that. I haven't seen the seventh season.
She is my favorite. She's my all-time favorite villain, I guess. The evil queen. She's not very well known and she doesn't get enough props because she's kind of mean. She like hates her stepdaughter and wants to kill
Oh,
her.
Evil Queen,
But
yeah.
I find her to be quite beautiful and I'm not really sure what my attraction to the evil queen is, but I do she's one of my favorite Disney characters.
Oh, I love her
And
too.
I loved who played her, Regina, the Regina was her name, right? I don't know her real
Anna Pirilla.
name, which is thank you. I loved her. But yeah, such a great show
Yes, she was.
until
Oh my god,
until
I
the
love
last season.
what?
Why did you like the last season?
I didn't see the seventh season. I refused.
Yeah, you don't want to.
I don't
It's
want
not
to.
worth it.
It closed. The sixth season gave me closure, and it was
Okay.
my favorite closure. So I was like, I'm happy with it being over. I don't need to see the seventh season. Although I would love to see more of my girl, the Evil Queen. I just
Yes.
don't think I can take it. It
Yeah.
got to a point like this show was so good, and the
Yeah.
cast. I mean, I love the cast. The cast was spectacular, just
Yeah.
from day one.
Yeah.
But there's some of the writing, I was like, I just can't take it. I can't
Yeah.
hike the writing. I couldn't.
That's why you're going to school to be in arts administration and get in there and write differently and
I
put
would
your
love to
spin
write.
and
I have
you
so many
should.
ideas that I've like written pilots for, and
Oh, cool.
and I would love to. I would love to like develop them, but my ideas they're just so big, and I feel like
Yeah.
I feel like I want to go at them and just be like, let me do a huge thing, but I need to like start small, and I don't know how to do
Yeah.
that.
Yeah.
I didn't even.
Well, you go big or go home, right?
No, I seriously go big or go home. Like the going back to my living cab, but like the first year I was like, this is the biggest it could be. I got it the biggest it could be, and then the next year was the biggest it could be. So it's like I like making it the biggest it can be every time, and I
And you should. You should. You shouldn't limit yourself. And I think you should take your own advice about when the time is right, it will happen for you. You were saying, I'm just going to kind of wait it out and like it'll present itself when the time is right. I mean, you obviously have these ideas and they're coming out and you're writing them down. And the time's going to present itself one day where it's going to be like, yep, this is the one. This is it. I'm going to do this pilot or this whatever, and I'm going to make it huge and it's going to be amazing.
yeah. And as long as I have the ideas, they'll stay in my head. I know. As the
You
good
should
ones,
write them down
I think the
or
good ones will
tell
stay
your
in
phone.
like good ones. That's what I don't know. That's how I roll. The good ones always stay in my head, and then I like if it sticks in my head, then I'll be like, okay, let me develop like the idea of it, and then I
Yeah.
develop the idea, and then I get more ideas, and I think about those ideas while I'm developing the other idea, and then I'm like, okay, let me switch ideas, and then I switch to different ideas. So I need like it's also just been my quarantine. That's been my quarantine like habit. Now I'm in school, so school's taking up the majority of my life, but
Yeah, that's okay. What else can you do? Just go to
exactly.
school and get it done and be done with it already. How much longer do you have with school?
So I transferred. So I should be, if like everything goes to plan, we would graduate next May. So not like the
Okay.
upcoming one, but the one
Yes.
after, 22.
Okay.
Because we're in 21. Oh my god, my brain. That's it's just wild. It's just wild that we're already in 2021. Uh,
21.
but
Hmm.
if some of my credits don't, if I just don't understand, if I'm not reading everything right, then it'll be
Yeah.
next December.
Okay. All right. Not too bad. Not too bad. It'd just be a
Yeah,
few months more, right?
yeah, just a
Yeah.
few months more, which is
All
okay
right.
for me, as long as like I just want to get done. I just want to go into the field. I want to be able to like be
Hmm.
and like start. I don't know. I feel like
Start your
it's
life.
so, yeah, it's so funny. The whole college like period of like,
Hmm.
did you go to college? Just question mark. No, you didn't. I was just
Well,
wondering
I
if
did
you have an
online. I
experience
did online when because my husband works for an online university. So I did go. I have an associate's degree, but I didn't do the actual
with college.
in-person university college life. Right. No.
Okay, well, I only did for like a semester, and then there was COVID.
Okay.
So,
Oh,
but
oops.
no, literally. But it's just so like different than I thought it would be as like a middle schooler, even high schooler. I was like, oh,
Yeah.
it's just gonna be this way, and then I took a gap year, so that
Yeah.
had to do with things. So it was just like, oh, this is my experience, and I'm just like living. I'm just writing it out, but I'm also like, I'm ready for life to begin. What is her song? What is that from? Tangled.
When will my life
Yes,
begin? Yes.
that's literally me. I need to like recreate that song and
Yeah, you
make it
should.
my theme song.
Play it every morning to inspire you.
No, seriously.
Oh,
No,
thank
but
you,
that's so
Kevin. This has been really fun talking with you. How can people find you? How can they find the cabaret? Please
oh
tell
yes.
us, and then we'll put them in the descriptions below.
Okay, so the Living Cabaret, you can find us on Facebook at Living Cab, Instagram at Living Cab. You can find me on YouTube, the Kevin Davison, all one word. And you can also find me on Instagram, my email, and my Facebook. It's all the same but my Facebook, my name is Kevin James on
Oh, okay. See,
there. Those
well,
were
we'll
all
put
the
all
ways.
that down. You guys don't have to memorize it. We'll just put it all down in the description below. And you can find that Christmas edition of the Living Cab that they did last year, which was really, really fun. And so many inspiring stories, really, of people fighting, surviving, and thriving, cancer survivors. It's really just amazing. And you did a really fantastic job. So thank you, thank you, thank you so much for taking time out of your busy day to chit chat with me. I really, really, really appreciate it. And I will see you guys all next time on Gabbing with Gabby. Bye.